Yo, what's up, guys? It's me, and I am joined by the welterweight champion of the world, my man, Kamaru Usman. Usman, it's so good for you to join me, my friend. How you doing, man? How's camp going? I know you're getting into the end of training camp and everything. How you feeling?
I'm great, man. At camp is going great. It's funny to hear you try to say my name.
Kamaru D. It's Kamaru D. You know, at first, so I say Kamaru because it's a little easier than Kamaru D, but it's Kamaru D Usman.
Yeah, that's the full government is Kamaru D, but Kamaru is just fine. You know, that's what I go by. That's what my parents call me. So there's nothing wrong with that.
But Usman, we talked about this whenever you fought in Jacksonville about how you had grew into your name, right? So I just want to do you the honor of trying to say it because I never thought about it until then. And then I read all the stories. So when a guy like Ben Askren keeps taking those pot shots in that way, it's so much deeper than just, hey, man, I remember you as this from back in the Olympic Training Center days. And I can understand now why it seems to be like contentious, like, yo, Ben, show me some respect and just say my name in the way that it, because growing up in wrestling, it ain't easy to really stand on your own. It's kind of difficult because you got to feel like you want to fit in.
Absolutely. And that was the biggest thing is, coming up in wrestling, I was just the little guy, trying to make it, trying to join the squad and just get good at something. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, we all know if you're not good, so you probably know there's so many kids that were on your high school team or even your college team that they're not good. No one cares about their name. So if they're not good, their name dies with them when they leave, But when your name carries on, that means you did something right. Yep, and that's what happened. I started wrestling and my coach wanted to call me. He just looked at my name and was like, I can't say that. I'm gonna call you Marty.
But that's not that hard though. It's really not that hard.
It's not, but it's, this is years ago, I'm dealing with a Marine and he's, it's that respect thing. We all know it. That's wrestling. We respect our elders who come from that generation. And it's like, yeah, call me whatever you want. Yes, sir.
Because I want to try to just be on the squad.
Absolutely.
Hey, bro, you know what's crazy about that, my brother? And I don't mean to cut you off, but Muhammad Lawal, King Mo, his name is Adekunle, but nobody ever called him that. That's his actual name. Muhammad is only his middle name. So people always called him Mo because it was so much easier than saying his actual name that was given to him by his parents. And the reality is, as I've gotten older, I understand now how that's real disrespectful. And even the first time you told me, he was like, yo, D, come on, man. Like, I'm a man now, right? I want you to call me my name. I was like, really? And then after we started talking, I was like, yo, I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, based on what we do, like I said, it's the Marty was like, I'm trying to be on the squad, and so the coach is calling me that. Now the team is calling me that, and then like if you're not doing your job, that name dies with you in high school. Yeah. Guess what? Now college coaches are recruiting, so they're like, oh, we're trying to recruit this guy. My coach is like, oh, Marty, all right. So now that bleeds over to college, and then you go over there and you're doing your thing. So that name carries weight now. Yeah. So that's how I'm known in that. But then doing what we do now, I'm a grown man. I'm a man to where you have to respect your father and your mother and the name that they gave you. And so it's like, why wouldn't I be called that? Why wouldn't I be, called my given name, which is, what I'm known by. So that's just kind of how that was. But, it is what it is.
Strong name, though. It's a strong, and my brother's a strong name. It's a real strong name.
It's only one of me.
It's a real strong name. Ain't many Kamarus out there. Now look, something else you go by is a nightmare, right? The Nigerian nightmare. I see the shirt. I see the shirt.
You see us out here?
You said this is your new shirt from Pro Sup, right? Man, all around the country. Every supplement GNCs, right?
Yeah, Pro Sup, Hyde, Nightmare will drop in on the 25th. We're really launching the product. It's going to be in every GNC, so go and get it. I think we're in Walmart too. So, my pre-workout is one of the best out there, for years. I was never really into pre-workout. But then you get to the point where those days when you got to spar, you got to get up a little extra.
Yeah, man. It's a
on the
fight.
site.
Especially with Justin Gaethje. Especially with Justin Gaethje.
Yes. Yeah. So it was like, the perfect timing, teamed up with my man TJ over there at Pro Subs, and we came together and we created one incredible product, man. I mean, High Nightmare. It's going to be in store soon.
Look at this guy. Wow.
Amazing.
Hey, let me tell you something. Like you ain't the dude. Hey, you ain't the dude from the Olympic Training Center that was just kind of walking around trying to, honestly, even then, all the way back to 2007, 2008, when I was starting to finish my Olympic run, you kind of was going in there almost under the radar, right? Talking to people, not really, it was hard to become a leader, especially in that environment, because we're talking about the absolute best wrestlers in the country. And as a national champion, you may have been the man where you were, but then when you get on that level, everybody's the same. They got big dogs everywhere.
Yeah, that was a tough thing. And I think it's kind of one of the biggest things that fuels me to where I am today is, when you get out there, and we've met for a while, but then, I started to really discover wrestling in college. And the crazy thing is, they used to be, what is it? Intermat was like the website that kept all the stats. And I would always look at all the stats because coming from Texas, Oklahoma, we always wanted to go D1. It was D1, D1, D1. So then I ended up in a Division II school, and I always wanted that. So I get good enough to where I'm beating all the D1 kids. I'm beating a lot of them. And if that year, if they would have let me compete at the D1 tournament, I had beat the dude that got third.
Yeah.
And
so you could have competed.
I beat the dude that got third, who ended up winning Midlands that year. I beat him the week before he won Midlands.
Wow.
And so it was like, I'm like, man, and I never wrestled number 1 or number 2. So I'm like, man, if
the
I
only experience
shot,
you had with those guys, you got a victory.
I got victory. So, it sucks to say, but I never lost to an Okie State guy.
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying.
I don't know how many you wrestled. I don't know how many you wrestled. You wrestled 4. You wrestled 4 Oklahoma State dudes, and you got them all.
Got them all.
Usman, yesterday Colby Covington talked to Brett Okamoto, and that's the thing, right? You're involved in this thing with Colby, and it is explosive, but it's a big time event in the mecca of sports, Madison Square Garden. When you listen to Colby talk, and honestly, I was talking to Ryan Clark today, and Ryan Clark goes, it's almost like he's saying Kamaru's scared of him. That's why it was so difficult to get the rematch. To that, what do you say to Colby Covington? Because I can tell, bro, I remember the first time we were in Brooklyn for that press conference, and you're standing here, he's standing there, they got security everywhere. These people are doing everything in their power to keep you two separated. Do you feel like it's less today after sharing the octagon with him for 24 minutes? Or does it seem worse to you as you get ready for the rematch?
It's less for me because, you get to a certain point and you've been here. You champ, you've been here. It gets to a certain point where you're competing. We know what we compete for. We want to compete and get the bag and go home and go lay up with our kids. That's what we want. So it gets to that point. He's still chasing that. He's chasing that feeling that we get now because we have become champion. We've defended. We are known worldwide as the man. And that's the feeling he is still chasing and that he will never feel as long as I am in the way. And so it is what it is. For me, I just have a calm reserve because, a jackass will say anything. And that's where he's at right now. He'll say anything just to try to still stay in that spot and stay relevant to where I don't have to do that. When it's time to go to work, I show up and I go to work and I showed it time and time again.
And doing that. That one you do. That one you do when you walking out. What's that one you do? Where you got the flag and you kind of do that one? I mean, look at that one. That's the one I'm talking about right there. That's the one I'm talking about right there. But where's that calm come from? Where's that calm to be dancing on the way to the octagon when I know every time I walked in there, I was filled with all these nerves until they said fight. And then I was cool.
Yeah.
But on the way out there, I wasn't dancing.
Well, you think about it like this. You know how that feeling in the locker room where you just feel like, why am I slow? Why I'm throwing these punches as hard as I can to try to warm up, but I'm feeling slow. Why am I feeling that? And then it dawned on me early on that I love dancing. And when I dance, it's just it's a release in my mind to where I'm not thinking about what's happening right now at the present. I'm not thinking about none of that. I don't even see that. I'm just in the moment of me dancing because of the feeling that I get when I dance. Then next thing you know, they're announcing the reigning defending, and I'm
Okay. It starts to make your body fill up like it fill you up with like this electric volt, like it's crazy. People don't understand that feeling when they start to introduce you as the champion, reigning and defending. Dude, it is something that is uncomparable to anything I've ever felt in my life.
Anything, and you fill up, and I come alive. You know, I'm filled and I'm put on the throne where I belong, where I am as the reigning king. And I look around and I look in my octagon, and then there's this little lonely, skinny ass dude in my octagon saying that he can beat me, saying that he's going to take everything that I worked for, that I ran for years in high school just to get off 2 pounds. I didn't even know how to cut weight, but for some reason I was going to run till my legs fell off. He's trying to take all of that from me. So I walk up to him and I let him know, and I look at him in his face and I let him know, you in trouble. And then when the time I walk back, let's go.
It's time to fight.
It just takes over. Yeah.
There's no place you'd rather be.
No place. And I'll tell you one thing, you know, a big reason why this fight is happening again, because I don't have to fight him. I didn't have to.
Yeah, but it seemed what he said was you had to, or he was going to take the belt. Which seems that seems a little crazy considering you got 4 title defenses now, right? But that's what he said. He said if you didn't fight him, he was going to take the belt.
How are they going to take the belt? I think I'm the only champ who's fought 2 times already this year. I'm not sure, but I believe
it's going to be 3 in the calendar year.
It's going to be 3 in a calendar year. What champs are really doing that? You know, I chose to take this fight because I'm gonna tell you something. It's something, and I'm sure you felt it because you've been in some amazing fights. There's something you feel when you get into a certain fight to where you lose yourself in the fight and you're just having fun. And it was something in that fight to where I was having fun. I'm smiling. I ain't even think about, I was never tired at all. I'm smiling. I'm laughing at him. I'm talking to him. I'm calling him, quit trying to be a bitch, quit crying. I'm talking to him in there the whole time. And it's just something about when I got done with it, I was like, wow, that was fun. I got hit a lot. I know I can't do these. I know I can't get in these many fights that often because, of course, I got to protect my health. But that was fun. I would love to do that one more time.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
And he seems to be that guy who's talking up a good game, that he's good enough to try to push me there again. So I want to see it.
So that's what I was going to say next, right? Like, I know how it can annoy you, but is there some respect there for Colby Covington, not only as a fighter, but also as a promoter? Because you guys do good business together. And I know as a person that had a partner, because that's the thing that people don't get. You guys are partners now in business.
Absolutely.
He has to show up for you to get the pay-per-view buys. Together, you guys make this happen. I had an unreliable partner. Is there some respect that you have a reliable partner and a guy that honestly will drum up interest, and then the fight, Usman, you're my boy, but I truly believe he's the toughest guy in there with you. And it showed. And it showed on that night in December.
You're right. Absolutely. It is a partnership. You have to have the right dance partner. no one will care.
Yep,
You know,
for sure.
at
It's
some
bad when
point,
they don't care either. It is bad when they
yeah,
don't care. Those pay-per-view numbers
very
coming in,
bad.
you sad. Like, this is crazy. You
Very bad.
gotta.
And so I of course I respect the guy. I have nothing against him. When you on top, you don't want no ill will towards nobody. You don't care. You just protect what you have, and that's where I am. I have no ill will towards him or Gilbert or Leon or Masvidal or anybody else. I don't care.
Mhm.
When you step to me, I take care of business and I secure the bag. And so he seems to be that guy. Yeah, it was a tough fight. Like I said, I had fun in that fight.
We learned how tough you were in that fight. I think you showed how tough you were in that fight with Covington because it was so difficult. And in a fight where it was 2-2, you went out there and you broke his jaw and got the finish. No. I got a couple questions for you before I let you go, champ. I'm just I love this. I love this because I love the psyche of the champion as he is on the dawn of something so special. First off, what are your thoughts about everything that Leon Edwards has had to go through to try to find his way back into a title fight with you? Like, I mean, seriously, what are your thoughts on that? On how much it's taken him a long time? I mean, Colby won 1 fight against T Wood. Leon's won 9, undefeated in 10. What are your thoughts on that in regards to Leon Edwards having such a tough time to get a rematch?
It's truly sad, to be honest with you, because I do like the guy. Yeah, I competed against the guy. I like most of these guys in the division, honestly. Even Masvidal, even
Hey, do you like Masvidal? Because I'm telling you, the reaction after you knocked him out, that was not the reaction of someone that, I like this guy, I just had to get through him.
I love all my sons. You know, they're my sons. I love them all. I love them all. You know, I have no ill will towards any of them, Colby included. You know, these guys are my sons, and that's the thing is Leon is just, I don't know who's making
what's he missing
decision.
But what's he missing?
I don't know who's making. It's like someone has to keep it real with this guy. Like, you know, at the end of the day, we know. Let's be honest here. We know this is a business. It's a partnership between us and the promotion. It's a partnership. You got to give them something to work with. You got to give them something to sell. And they are throwing you bone after bone after bone. Let's just be honest. Based on that last performance, you can't go out there and do that with Nate Diaz. You can't do that. You can't do that. You were throwing
but he won the fight for 24 and a half minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to seal the deal. That's how you have to let you.
So you think he finished Diaz? He's fighting you now instead of Colby.
Absolutely, because that was an audition. You have to audition. I'm telling these guys, these are all my sons. You have to audition for me now. You audition for me, then I will decide if you're that guy. And myself and the promotion will sit down and we'll say, I liked his audition tape. Let's go ahead and pick him next. And he went out there and he was auditioning for a while. He did okay. But then all of a sudden, the 25th minute, you shit the bed. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. So that's what forced the promotion's hand in my hand, because this is business now. In my hand to say, you know what? Let's go have fun with this dance partner who's going to run his mouth. And you know, and of course, people believe that this guy has a chance. That's the thing.
They do. That's why you look at the odds, and nobody has been as close to you as Colby Covington is slotted. And as a guy that breaks down the fights, that calls the fight, I've told you, I think this is the toughest fight for you in the division. One more thing before Tyron Woodley's tattoo. I mean, Kamaru Usman, talk to me. As a guy that has shared time with Tyron in the octagon, a guy that has said openly, I would train with Tyron. I would try to help him, try to gain back the swag to see him get that man's tattoo put on his finger.
Come on, man. Come on. You know, and it is sad to where every time this man competes, everyone blames me for the outcome. You know, I get mad blame and a lot of hate on Twitter and Instagram about it, that, oh, this is your fault. This is your fault. You did this to him. You did this to him. This is your fault. I like Tyron. I've always showed Tyron. Like, is there ever been a place where you saw me show disrespect Tyron? I've always showed Tyron the utmost respect as a champion, as a black man, as a father. I've always showed him that ultimate respect. But for some reason, that doesn't reciprocate from Tyron. It doesn't reciprocate.
It's hard whenever, but it's hard when you lost a fight.
I understand. I understand it's hard, but as a man, you have to know, and as a champion who has suffered defeat, even in college, even in wrestling, you should know how to bounce back. And you should know that I have to overcome that. I have to let that go, make amends with that, fix the mistakes, and get back to the bag. And that's just something that I feel like he hasn't done.
But he got the money. He got the money against Jake Paul the first time. He got paid.
But is he gonna get the second? Why did he get the tattoo?
But he got the tattoo. He got the tattoo. He got the tattoo with the understanding that a rematch would be granted to him.
With the understanding, you got to get it in writing. It don't mean nothing if you don't have it in writing. As Deontay
But you don't think Jake Paul's a fighter?
As Deontay Wilder, it don't mean nothing unless you have it in writing.
Deontay got his rematch and did a great job and showed a great accounting of himself.
Phenomenal fight.
But you are ignoring the question: does Tyron get the rematch?
No, I'm hearing. I don't even follow these dudes.
At first I saw him like saying stuff about you. I thought you might go beat Jake Paul up. I thought you might go fight him.
Yeah, they can talk. He's gonna talk. Of course he wants to, because I make him relevant. He has to fight someone who's there, so I make him relevant. But right now, that's still small. He's not big enough. That's not big enough bag.
The Colby Covington fight.
The Colby Covington
fight matters.
That matters.
Because that's Madison Square Garden.
Absolutely. MSG, New York, the mecca of the sport. What's bigger? And look at the last 3 fights. What's bigger than what? The only thing that tops what I just did the last fight is going to MSG, the mecca of sports, and actually competing and delivering a performance like that. That's the next biggest thing. And then after that, we talk with Canelo and we see how we can top that. But right now, no one's doing it like I'm doing it right now, T.
Bro.
No one's doing it like that.
And you secure, listen, winning performance bonuses, defending your championship, and guess what? The star is shortened. The star is starting to shine even brighter on you. The other day, I'm watching Facebook Watch. I see my man suited and booted on the Steve Harvey show, looking fresh, tailored suit to the nines. Your beautiful mother sitting there. You're up with your father, had all of the issues from back in the day, right? You guys stayed together as a family. And now you're here today where you can hand him the title after winning over and over again. And I see you guys all do that. I saw Izzy do it. I saw Francis do it. I saw you do it. You give it to your father, because nothing makes a man feel better than when his father's proud of him. And you're able to do the thing that almost every one of us does when they make some money. You went and purchase your family a house. I mean, your mom started to cry. How good did that feel?
As a young man, you growing up, especially in athletics, that's the one promise that you always give your family. That's that promise that you want to let them know, you know what, I'm going to buy you something that no one can take from us, something that this is the foundation for generational wealth to come. This is something that you can keep in the family that's always going to appreciate. This is that investment. I'm going to buy it for you. And it was only a dream. It's always a dream of mine to say, hey, mom and dad, here's the keys to your house. And, thanks to the UFC, thanks to Dana for creating such a home in this sport that we can actually step into and hone and shine and let the world know our gifts. Because now, mom and dad, I got y'all new house.
Yeah.
Proceps, we got this, we got this pre-workout shining.
It's going good.
We got big things. It's going good.
Well, and also, hey, your house, let me just set the scene for you. This is Kamaru Usman in his palatial estate in Denver. The last time the guy lived in Colorado Springs, he lived in the barracks that are called the Olympic Training Center dorms. So if you want to know that a guy is doing well, look at the estate that Usman lives in now, his second home, because his first mansion is down in Florida. Usman, I'm so proud of you, my friend. for all that you have been through to be the man that you are today. You and your beautiful daughter, I see you guys all over the Instagram, spending time, Miss Pretty, right? You call her Miss Pretty, she can dance too. Got a great personality. Bro, I'm proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I cannot wait to New York City. I go to Abu Dhabi next week for the double title fight, and then I get to go and watch you guys, man, and I cannot wait. Champ, thank you so much for giving me a little bit of time. I appreciate it. Love catching up with you. Guys, Pro Sup, GNC, get the Kamaru Usman line, get the Nightmare t-shirt, and make sure you tune into UFC 268, where Usman fights Covington for the second time, where Justin Gaethje fights Michael Chandler. And also we have, who's the third fight? Who's the co-main event?
Ooh, Wei Lee and Rose Namajunas.
Oh, yeah, we got the other title fight. Wei Lee tries to regain her championship from Rose Namajunas. It's a fantastic fight card from New York City. Headline by the champion Kamaru Usman in a rematch against Colby Covington. Thank you guys for watching.
My brother.
My man, Usman, the champ.